root cause of particular disease or state when you are aware that your well-being / peace is being disturbed can be discovered through inner conversation within yourself. You consist of many parts, cells, energies, subfrequencies, organs, etc. And all of these also have consciousness. So, if you are experiencing a disease that is distortion in your energy field, you can simply talk to it or the organ that is being affected by it. A disease is simply a message. It tells us that our mental and emotional bodies need to be healed. And as a result, a distortion in our physical body has happened. So how do you talk to your parts or organs? Step one is relaxation or calming down step, which is very important, very foundational step to do, because the more relaxed we are, the easier it will be for us to do the next steps. So the first thing to do is to do some exercises that help us relax more. What I like to do is I like to close my eyes, and I like to start with taking a couple slow, deep breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. And while I'm doing that, it helps me to gradually slow down my mind, and also slower breathing ensures that our body also calms down. So I start with deep, slow breaths, and then I also scan my entire body, its main parts, and when I pay attention to a specific part, for example, my legs, I also try to breathe out through them, through each part that my attention is on. And in this way I relax my body and my mind even more by doing this exercise. And I sometimes also visualize being grounded and connected with the center of the earth. And in the center of the earth is the core. And the core is dark. It's black. And when you are connected to it, you're more grounded, you feel more peaceful. So these are the things that I like to start this process. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is when you start to focus your attention / awareness on the object that you want to have conversation with. In this case, the object would be an illness that you currently experience or an organ that is being affected by it. I'm gonna share with you my own example when I had conversation with my eyes due to vision impairment. What I did in this second step of focusing attention / awareness was my eyes were closed and I started to pay attention to my eyes internally, inwardly. I also set intention silently in my mind. Now I'm focusing on my eyes. All attention to the eyes. And so I started to pay attention and check my inner visual field. If some sort of images, symbols would pop up by focusing on the eyes. And in my case, one image popped up, which was a rat gnawing tires or tubes, almost like electric tubes. And in that moment, the meaning that I had for this image was a sabotage. So yeah, first thing, by focusing on the organ or the illness, when your eyes are closed, you check if you see any images internally in your internal visual field. Maybe there is not a symbol, but a memory pops up in your mind that you see, or a bodily sensation gets activated, or some other image. If you are not sure what that is, and if it is related to what you are focusing on, and if it is not distraction, you can ask, simply ask, is this related? And if so, how it is related to my object of focus? Why am I seeing this? Why is it shown to me right now? Is it maybe a resistance? I'm trying to distract myself not to get access to valuable information, or some kind of defense mechanism. That can also sometimes happen. Ask and trust what comes as an answer. So in this second step, pay attention to what comes up. Images, memories, thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations. Be interested, because they can possibly lead you closer to the cause, and if required, ask necessary questions related to what has risen in your inner awareness field. For some people, visual elements, symbols, signs are a very strong part how they receive information, and part of their inner communication. For me personally, at least currently, I feel that this element is not that strong, and I rely more on audio, what I hear internally, what words, what voices, etc. So don't worry if you don't see anything, maybe just dark when eyes closed. That's fine. As I said, there can also be other things besides images, such as thoughts, memories, emotions, feelings. Those can also be indicators. So just be alert for a moment. Step 3 is listening and asking questions to receive insights, realizations, connecting dots between things. In the second step, you were also giving space and observing what's coming up. Is there anything else? And then from that you can build on by asking questions, whether something came up or not. Maybe you already have a question in your mind. When I was talking with my eyes or eyesight, I had a question in my mind that I wanted to ask for a couple of times, so it was naturally for me to immediately start with that question. And that question for me was I wanted to get right on point to the solution of this ailment, what steps I needed to take. And that was the first question that I asked. And this question opened for me a floodgate of information. The information started to unfold bits by bits, pieces by pieces, one insight after another. And so I almost like also traveled through some of my key past experiences and moments in my life, and they were related to these key important insights or learnings that I received during this conversation by asking question, what steps I need to take. And also a very good question to ask is, what is the benefit of me having this physical condition? In other words, what is the hidden positive intention why this illness has manifested in body? Maybe it wants to protect you from something, or rather gain something for you by this. And questions to you arise naturally, and you can ask different questions from multiple angles. Maybe you start with the question that does not give you any meaningful answer at all, and that can lead you to ask a different question from a different angle. Okay, because there is also art in asking the right questions. The right questions will lead you to the right answers that you are seeking. That's for sure. So this part is about asking questions, and then allowing to answers to come to you, receiving them, trusting that what is coming to you is the real deal. I remember when I started doing this practice years ago, I had my doubts. I mean, I've never had done this before, like talking to myself. Really? Is this thing really working? Am I not imagining this all up in my mind? All the answers that I'm hearing? Yeah, I mean, initially doubts can come. Sometimes not even initially, sometimes even if you have practiced this for time, that's okay. The important thing is practicing this helps us to do this in easier manner. The more we do it, the easier it becomes for us to communicate with ourselves, with our own parts that require our intention, that are the messengers to us, so we can engage with them, listen to them, ask questions, observe them, what they want to tell us. And set an intention before listening that I'm going to listen with open heart and without judgments. And if doubts will arise, I will acknowledge them and I will move on. So that's it. And the more calm we will be in that moment, the easier it will be the answer to come through and for you to receive without obstacles, such as doubts, resistances. I am not the only one, definitely not even near being the only one speaking about ability to speak to your own parts, organs. There are multiple people have been in this world. One of such was famous author and teacher Carlos Castaneda. So this is not new thing. If you want to have a better understanding what was it like for me to experience conversation with my eyesight, then check out the next video where I will share 7 major insights and realizations that came to me through this extremely valuable conversation with my eyes. And some of the insights might resonate to you and be relevant in your life as well. So check out the next video. Stay healthy.